Sorry. Make sure that my kid was not screaming.
On the computer, don't be so loud. Meeting, okay? Because you can kill it with the mouth and stuff, okay?
Jay, are we still waiting to record?
Looks like it is recording.
Yeah, you are good to start whenever you'd like.
Excellent. Rashid, balls in your court.
All right, just getting some better lighting here. Okay, hi everyone. All right, let's get this. Let me just make sure everyone's on. Let's see everyone. Okay, perfect. All right. This is Parks and Recreation Chair Rashid Ali. I would like to make clear for the record of this meeting, and it should be reflected in the minutes, that this regular Parks and Recreation Commission meeting of February 22nd, 2021 will be conducted pursuant to Governor Newsom's Executive Order N2920. The meeting will be held via teleconference, and Parks and Recreation Commission members will participate via teleconference. Those locations are not listed on the agenda and are not accessible to the public. The public is encouraged to listen to the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting live by going to the City of Woodland website at cityofwoodland.org/meetings. Any member of the public watching the live stream who wishes to make a comment on an item as it is being heard may submit an email to krista.bain@cityofwoodland.org prior to the public comment on that item. Email comments submitted to be read into the record shall be no more than 3 minutes when read aloud. Please include the agenda item in the subject line. Chris, it would now be appropriate for you to conduct roll call. Each member must identify themselves during roll call.
All right. Vice Chair Ali.
This is Vice Chair Ali. I'm here, present.
Commissioner Martin.
Present.
Commissioner Valkarinki.
Present.
And Commissioner White-Snyder.
Present.
Okay, I would now like to request that each member of the commission respond to these questions. Commissioner Martin, can you hear me well?
You're on mute.
Commissioner Martin, you may be on mute.
Yes, I can hear you well.
Thank you. Commissioner Valkyringi, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Commissioner White Snyder, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Does each member of the commission have a copy of the agenda for this meeting? Commissioner Martin, do you have an agenda? I think she froze.
Nope.
Commissioner Martin, do you have an agenda?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Commissioner Valkyringi, do you have an agenda?
Yes, I do.
Commissioner White Snyder, do you have an agenda?
Yes, I do.
Chris, has the agenda been posted at a location reasonably accessible to the public?
Yes, it has been.
Wonderful. The record should reflect that all commissioners are present for this teleconference and have indicated that they were able to hear the proceedings. At this time, I'm requesting that city staff introduce themselves and their positions so that the record can reflect their attendance.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Christine Engel. I'm the Community Services Director.
Hi, and I'm Chris Bain. I'm the Community Services Program Manager. And Wesley's not here today.
Okay. Now, as we go through the agenda, I would request that before speaking, you should identify yourself each time. For example, this is Commissioner Ali. Let the individual speak and please do not interrupt. I would also ask that to the greatest extent possible, everyone mute their phones so that we don't get unnecessary background noise. I would now like to advise all commissioners and city staff that any votes taken during this teleconference portion of this meeting must be taken by roll call. I would ask Chris Bain to take that roll for any and all votes. Now, we will begin with the agenda. To start us off with the Pledge of Allegiance, Commissioner White Snyder, would you like to lead us?
Certainly. Thank you.
Didn't mean to catch you off guard.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner White Snyder. As the public chambers are closed to the public, as the council chambers are closed to the public, is there any member of the public who has submitted an email or left a voicemail for the general public comment portion of this meeting?
I don't have any emails, so no.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll move on to communications and staff statements and requests. Commissioner Martin?
Yes. No, I do not have any.
Okay. Commissioner Valkyringi?
Just an update to the group. Since the last meeting, I participated in 2 public meetings concerning the business park that will go in immediately adjacent to the Spring Lake neighborhood in Woodland, California. And that business park plan will be up for review by the commission in March, so at our next meeting. I think there will be some interesting things for the Parks and Rec Commission to review, so I hope you all can be there. I did have a request to staff to pass on for that review. I don't know if we'll be able to have a couple of things pointed out in the meeting, but I would like to make a request and at least get that to the city folks who will be presenting to us. Christine, would that be possible?
Yes.
Yeah, so my first request is to, in the presentation, place emphasis on the park that would be planned to go in and the green belts that are planned to go in. Also emphasis on tree plantings if they've gotten that granular yet, and their plans to review the urban forest master plan and make sure they apply design consistent with that master plan. And then the last thing, I wasn't quite sure if it was within the Parks and Rec Commission realm, but I was curious about it. And I think we see it in the budget, but how the if it would be its own separate lighting and landscape district, the way some of the other neighborhoods in town are, or if it would be handled differently. So I was curious to hear about that.
I will pass that on.
Thank you.
Thank you for the update, Commissioner Valkeringi. Christine, I have a question in regards to that business park. It's open for everyone to participate regardless of where they may be living or moving, because I may be moving adjacent to that business park in that housing development, that walls. So there's no conflict on that front, correct? Or is there?
I would say that I'm actually not sure yet what action the commission will be taking. So we'll have to address that when the report is provided. So on one hand, it could be that you just don't take a vote. You know, if the commission is making a recommendation to support it, and then if you want to submit your own concerns as a citizen, you can do that. So we'll have to see if this is a actionable item.
Okay.
And then it depends on where you, well, it depends on too, maybe by then, this will be at the March meeting. So maybe by then you'll know if you are going to be moving there or not.
It's 99.9% done.
Okay. How about when the agenda packet comes out, just shoot me an email saying that you'll have to recuse yourself from voting.
Yeah, it's just that the wall, our backyard wall, is going to be the wall to the business park, so I'm going to be pretty close to it. So I just wanted to be upfront.
Yeah, absolutely.
So take comes out. Okay.
Thank you for letting me know.
I don't want to be biased in the situation.
Okay.
All right. Next up, Commissioner Valkyrie. Okay, so Commissioner White Snyder, do you have any updates for us?
I don't. I attended the same video conference and had my own questions, which were addressed, and I believe that they will be in any presentation that's given to us in March. So looking forward to seeing.
And then there are no updates from me as well as of this time. In terms of items G and H, we don't have any presentations today or any business items. So we'll move on right to committee reports. We'll start with Facilities Committee, which is Commissioner White Snyder. Do you have any updates for your committee?
I do not. I do know that they're still working. The Woodland Rec Foundation is still working on the girls' softball fields, and that's just plodding along slowly. That's all I have.
Okay. And then Program and Department Evaluation, which is my committee. I do not have any updates as of this time. We'll move towards Budget and Finance Committee, which is Commissioner Martin. Do you have any updates for Budget and Finance?
No, I do not at this time. Thank you.
Okay. And then Urban Forest Committee, Commissioner Valkeringi, do you have any updates for us?
No, I do not have any updates on Urban Forest.
And then we'll move on to Volunteerism Committee. I'm guessing nothing there, but Commissioner Martin, do you have anything?
No, nothing there either.
And then for our Ad Hoc Committee, Commissioner White Snyder.
I do not have anything new and unplanned.
Wow. Okay, that's wonderful. Let's go ahead and move on to the consent calendars then. Has everyone had a chance to review the calendar that was sent, I believe, yesterday? Was it yesterday or today? I can't remember.
Friday
From
or
January.
Thursday. Oh.
Thursday.
Is there a motion?
I had a chance to go through. The calendar, and I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Rashid, are you referring to the meeting minutes?
Yes, the minutes. Sorry, is that what I meant to say? The minutes.
Yep.
Yes.
Did I skip? Okay.
No, you're fine. It was item J.
Okay. I'm getting a little notification here that my internet is unstable. So if you lose me, that is why.
Okay.
If
I'm
we
gonna take
lose you, we'll have Megaline take over if we lose you.
And I'm going to take the roll
Okay.
for that vote. So Martin, to approve the minutes.
Aye. Yes.
Okay. Val Karingi,
Aye.
White Snyder,
Aye.
and Ali.
Hi.
Okay.
Who made the motion and who seconded it?
Ali made the motion and Val Karingi seconded it.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to item K, which is commission absence requests. I'm pulling up the calendar right now to see what the next dates are. If anybody has any requests that they'd like to present, please do so. Let's see
And the next
here.
meeting is March 22nd.
March 22nd. Yep. Let me check my calendar.
This is Commissioner Val Karingi. I'm trying to do a little trip, but I don't think I'll be anywhere. I'm not sure if I'm going, and I don't think I'll be anywhere without internet. So I plan to be there even if I'm remote because I can log in by phone.
Thank you.
This is Commissioner Ali. I do not have any requests from myself at this time.
This is Commissioner White Snyder. I'm good as is. No request.
This is Commissioner Martin. I'm good also. No request.
Okay, wonderful. All right, let's move on to report of the staff. For the community service report for January 25th, I believe Christine.
Yes, thank you. This is Christine Engel. I wanted to provide an update that you may or may not be aware. We did rent our gymnasium to Dignity Health as of a couple weeks ago, and they are doing a mass vaccination clinic at the facility. Their goal is 1,000 people a day. Unfortunately, they will not be vaccinated tomorrow or Thursday because of the shortage in vaccines, but everything's been going really well. Kind of along the lines, I don't have it necessarily in your report, but as we're anticipating changing to the red tier tomorrow, there's been some new updates. The YMCA, as long as we do go to the red tier tomorrow, the YMCA will be opening the facility as of Wednesday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So they've been closed for quite a while now. And also, as we move into that tier, that is what will allow the baseball and softball to start playing games. Currently, they've only been able to do drills and practices. So we have been really anticipating this and getting the fields ready and working with the different leagues so that when the time came, we could pull the trigger and they would all be ready. The other thing that's kind of interesting is previously soccer games would not be able to start until we were in the orange tier, but last state came out with some new requirements that go into effect this Friday that allows soccer to also start games, and the guidelines are a little confusing. It appeared initially that in order for them to start games, they would have to test every player and coach. Anyone over the age of 13 would have to be tested weekly. But in a call with the county today, they indicated because we have about 7 cases per 100,000 people that they can go ahead and start soccer games. So that's something that we'll be working with the 2 leagues in town. I did reach out to them last week and they had already been in contact with their parent organization. So really it depends on what their parent organization wants to do and what their insurance requirements are and everything else. Even with the youth starting to play games, there are mask and social distance requirements. They have to wear masks. They still need to social distance. There's spectator requirements. So it's not business as usual, but it's definitely a step in the direction that people have been hoping for to be able to get their kids out there back and playing. At the pool, we have a lot going on too. On March 1st, we're going to have both high schools will be practicing at the pool. We've started taking Wreckers registration, which is our recreational swim league that will start, Chris will maybe correct me, but maybe that'll start like in April or so. And then Woodland swim team has been practicing as well, and we have lap swimming. So a lot is going on at the pool. Any questions in regards to what's opening up because of this change to red in terms of recreation? You know, restaurants, I think, can go to 25% capacity indoors. So a lot of changes coming.
Awesome.
Okay.
You covered, I'm going to cover a little bit different. Was there any questions on the staff report? I mean, I probably can't answer the questions about Wesley's stuff.
Well, I want to talk about a couple things that we have coming up. We did, in regards to the bathroom projects that we talked about briefly last month, I'm trying to think where we're at. We went to council, or actually, no, we haven't gone to council yet, but the mid-year budget was approved last week, which gave us the funding to replace the 3 restrooms and also to do the asphalt in the bleachers at Harris Field. But we kind of ran into a little hiccup because the demolition and the site prep work we thought would come back at 60,000 or something. Currently, the lowest bid kicks us into a totally different bracket that requires us to go out for formal bid, and it's a public project. So I can talk to you individually about what that price was. I don't want to announce it since this is going to be a competitive bid process. But we were anticipating taking an item to council next week in order to award the contract for purchasing the bathrooms and doing the demo work. But we have to figure out if we're going to do the demo work and the prep work in-house or if we're going to go out to bid. I kind of take a deep breath with doing it in-house because it's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of money to spend on it. I think construction costs are up because of COVID. So we kind of hit a little pickle with that. And then in regards to the replacement of the playgrounds at Trainham and Everman, which is the Prop 68 non-competitive grant, we'll be holding, I don't know that we have anything in the report on this, we'll be holding public meetings on March 18th and March 26th, I want to say. Don't write down those dates, but we'll be conducting Zoom meetings. Chris is looking it up, I think. Conducting Zoom meetings to get public input, like we did for Pioneer Park and Beamer Park and the other playground structures that we've been replacing, where, you know, our vendor will come on, we'll have 3 designs, and then people can vote, but we can't really do it in public. So we thought, you know, best case scenario then is doing a Zoom meeting.
March 18th and March 24th are the Zoom meetings. I didn't write which one was which.
Okay,
My
well,
calendar.
we'll definitely send out a flyer to everybody. And then in Wesley's report, he, you know, identified the storm event on 127 on January 27th that produced some really strong winds in town, that we did have issues with trees and the staff worked really hard. One of them was even, you know, on site at 10 o'clock at night, going out and removing trees from the right of way. And I think they're still actually doing some cleanup from that event. So that was a lot of significant labor. The youth master plan, I've included this in the report as well. This is something that I believe I mentioned last month, that we're working on a youth master plan in collaboration with Woodland Joint Unified School District and a lot of local partners in the community. There are a lot of meetings coming up where it's like every Monday and Wednesday, I think.
But they're not during the night. They're all during the day.
They're all during the workday. If anybody would like to participate, we can give you the information so that even if you can only participate in a couple of them, but it's something that this is just like building the foundation for this plan that will ultimately come to fruition in about 1.5 years. So let us know. Yes, Carla?
Mute.
I got it. Yes, I would like to listen in if I could get the invites on those.
Okay.
I'll get that for you.
Yeah, we have that
Invites.
flyer, and then we can actually, Chris, I don't know if you had that email that one of the gentlemen sent out where it said this is how you register.
I'll dig it up.
Okay, if you can't find it, let me know. And that
Okay.
is all I have. I'm going to turn it over to Chris.
Hello, I am Chris Bain, the Community Services Program Manager, and I'm going to talk about a few things that Christine did not talk about. So staff has been preparing for the summer, and that means that staff is getting ready for the programs, including the Summertime Fun Club, the Team Pack, swim lessons, the Woodland Wreckers, and summer at City Hall, in addition to adult softball. The youth summer recreation programming is scheduled to begin, registration is scheduled to begin on March 1st, and the programs are scheduled to begin June 14th. That's the first day school is out. Adult softball tentatively will start late June, but it could potentially start earlier. So we're kind of hanging on right there. We're not sure. In addition, the annual Rexpo discount is going to apply to the Summertime Fun Club and Team Pack. That's 10% off for registration, and that will be given on March 12th. It's an online discount, and we aren't taking registration in person, so it'll only be online. So kind of exciting. We're already getting ready for summer and going to start pumping out our marketing information. So yay, staff is getting excited about that. And my other update is we're doing quite a few socially distanced activities and events, and I'll say events kind of loosely. So with the success of Woodland Writes, you saw that we brought in over 400 cards and letters that we delivered to homebound seniors. We even got some after we had delivered our big stack. And that was all for Valentine's Day. So staff is planning several socially distanced activities and events in the upcoming months, kind of playing on some holiday roughly. So this week, staff is delivering the DIY Arbor Day kits to Slavin and Woodside Park and to the library. So this came out of Myra's Mayor Pro Tem, Myra, her idea working with the Luna Vista Rotary, as well as with the Tree Foundation. And we, if you saw, we're putting little kits together where it's an acorn and some dirt and a little vessel, and people can plant their own acorns. We also have other upcoming events include the Shamrock Hunt within our parks, where families can search for shamrocks with QR codes that will give opportunities to win prizes like gift cards or even discounted or free swimming lessons. And then also coming up around the Easter holiday is we're doing a You've Been Egged. It's an opportunity to prepare to reserve our services to hide eggs in their front yard for the kids to find the next day. And you've been egged. Also, there's the Cesar Chavez event that you see is coming up on March 31st. So that will include the opportunity for families to plant seeds, help create a mural, and to donate food for the hungry. So that's what I have. Are there any other questions about what Creation is doing besides the report?
I was on mute, Chris, but I laughed at your You've Been Egged.
Yeah.
I want to just kind of point out some of the challenges that we have with summer coming up and what we're planning to do. So our summer is really going to look a lot like last summer. Fortunately, this will be our second time running summer camp with pods of youth and keeping social distance. And, typically we would have like 60 kids in a park. It would be, mayhem. They could intermix and everything else. But last year we had 10 kids in a pod. We had one leader assigned to each pod. And then we had a central staff person that would kind of be a runner. We had lots of different roles, but we had it so that we would keep people as separated as possible, and those that were together would be together. We're going to increase, instead of 10, we're going to increase to 14. And something that we're working on right now is because childcare is one of the groups that is able to get vaccinated, and that also includes lifeguards. So we can at this point have staff members vaccinated that fall in that category, but I really want to be prepared for summer, and I want to have it so that 6 weeks before summer, they're getting their very first vaccination if they choose to. One or the other, because it takes, you get your first shot, and then about 4 weeks later, you get your second shot, and then you have maximum immunity for that vaccine, 2 weeks later. So I'm looking at a 6-week window being maximum, depending on if it's Pfizer or Moderna. But the other challenge we have is, some of our employees are under 18. So, I did ask the county today what we can do with those that are 16 and over, and if we can line them up for Pfizer instead of Moderna. And so we're working through that right now. We're trying to be sensitive to, we don't want to vaccinate those that aren't actually in work status for us right now because we want to save the vaccine for others that need them, but we also want to be ready when the time comes so that our program is as safe as possible. So lots of little irons in the fire. The other thing too is, from what I understand, probably mid-April or around the 20th of April is when we'll make our hiring decisions. And then it takes can take 4 to 6 weeks just to get them through our clearance process, and sometimes even longer. It depends on how quickly the employee goes and gets fingerprinted and how quickly, how common their name is and when everything comes back. And so we'll have a decision to make if we take people that we've offered the job and said, you know what, if you want your vaccine, here's your chance right now. Because we did a couple times last summer have to close pods because we would have, and we still would actually, we had, trying to think, when we closed pods, it was always because a kid was infected and not an employee, I want to say, or maybe we had one employee. But what I'm really happy about is we never had spread. The times that we had any cases, they were always isolated. We never in our department had 2 people get it or anything else. So I think we had some really great practices in place, and we're going to continue to do that and hope that the numbers just keep getting better and that we don't contribute to them. Any questions?
I have one. I have my hand up.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't see.
Do we know what the vaccination rate is right now within the city at all? No numbers?
No. I do a call every Monday with the health officer and all the jurisdictions in the area, and I haven't heard that statistic.
Okay. Do we know at all among the seniors? No. So, I mean, while it's not part of your guys' purview, the other thing that we're talking about too is, okay, so when could the senior center open and what would that look like? And, at this, and also senior programming. And at this point, I'm thinking, well, I think it was just 75 and over, in the most recent that was getting their shots, that they're right now starting to get their second shots. And so I really don't want to think about a lot of senior programs until May. Most of the health cares have opened up to 65 and over, both Sutter and Dignity.
Yeah, they have, but it's the older age group that's now getting their second shot. And so I don't want to in March have
not March yet. March is a little too early yet, but yeah. I mean, my concern is from where I sit. So one of the things I do is evaluate patients and patient rates and COVID rates, but also the mental health that goes along with the isolation. That's 100%. A huge concern, and I'm super concerned over the seniors that are being isolated. They
Absolutely.
Can't come to the senior center, they can't anything.
Right, absolutely, 100%. So
that's a big concern.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'd have to look at the state guidelines if senior centers can even open. Yeah. There's that piece. So, and in the call today, we did ask if there was still, the stay-at-home order for 65 and older to stay home, and it was like what we were told was no, that was actually, that was just guidance, but they would not encourage senior softball to start playing, until people are vaccinated. They still don't want people congregating together, and for household gatherings, previously, well, I guess when we were under the regional stay-at-home order, there were no gatherings. And then, for a while before that, and probably now, it's 3 households outdoors. And now what's coming down is it'll be 3 households indoors, a maximum of 16 people. So I don't think that there's any guidance for professional gatherings yet. I think there's still no professional gatherings. So it's that whole gathering piece that we're looking at too. Lots of moving parts and pieces. But I commend the community services department staff for bending and flexing and running this distance learning program and providing a resource for the parents in town that really did not have an option for their children.
I actually believe that given the constraints that were applied to everyone, that you guys have done a phenomenal job of trying to keep people enthusiastic about something. I'm amazed every time you come up with another program that somebody thought of something, because I'm totally at a wash. I can't even think of anything that they could do to keep people active and involved, enthusiastic. And like I said, this is huge. Mental health issues have been a problem.
Absolutely. And on the senior side, Dallas is doing a lot of teaching seniors how to use Zoom and doing Zoom bingo. And we have Zoom Rocksteady boxing. And, so we're trying to get resources out there, but it definitely doesn't replace the face-to-face, eyeball-to-eyeball contact.
Yep.
I'm ready for it.
Everyone is.
Rashid, that was our staff report. So
Awesome. Did anyone have any other comments? I thought I heard Commissioner Martin say something, but maybe I misheard.
No, I was just commenting on that Christine said she was ready for the, face-to-face eyeball. And I said, I think everyone is.
Oh, yes, very much true. All right, well, if that's all we have, our next meeting is March 22nd. There's no other comments from me. If there's anything else anyone has, please jump in. If not, can I get a motion to adjourn?
This is Commissioner White Snyder. I'll motion that we adjourn our meeting tonight.
I'll second.
all right, let me do roll. Commissioner Martin, what's your vote?
Yes. Aye.
Val Karingi,
Aye.
White Snyder,
Aye.
and Commissioner Ali.
Aye.
All right, with that, we are adjourned at 7:08.
Nice to
Bye.
see you all.
Night.
Thanks for the update.
And see you
Bye.
next month.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.